Earlier today, we talked to the toddler's aunt. She seemed so emotional after hearing about his death, but her tone quickly shifted into protecting her boyfriend.
We don't know 100% of what happened, but we all love that baby. He was just as sweet as a little baby.
You're saying your boyfriend may have been arrested in connection to this crime? Can you?
He wouldn't do this.
He wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't do that.
What's up? It's iCkEdMeL. How you doing? And I came across this clip from 4 days ago, and I'm honestly not surprised. Are you? The woman defending the actions of this guy. It's probably not possible. It's not 100%. We don't know what happened.
We don't know 100% of what happened, but
let's just go with the story that he swaddled this child, right? I want to talk a little bit more about this. There hasn't been really any updates on this story, unfortunately, but we're going to bring it a little bit more attention. And some of the things, besides the CPR for 45 minutes, was ridiculous, right? I know this guy that doesn't even know what swaddling is because he claims that he swaddled a child at 18 months. He probably just really tightly wrapped this child in whatever to keep him from moving. The reasoning that he was giving behind doing this is because the child made a mess with ketchup packets. Let me say that again. His reasoning, what they're saying, that he swaddled this child is because he made a mess with ketchup packets.
An arrest warrant states Johnson told investigators one time CJ made a mess with some ketchup packets, so he tightly swaddles CJ at night to restrict the child's movement. He says early Wednesday morning, CJ was wrapped up and started making noise. After he unwrapped him, he began throwing up and became unresponsive.
Not only that, during a forensic interview, one of the juvenile witnesses reported that Johnson would wrap Cedric too tightly, causing him to cry. The witness stated he heard Cedric crying late at night, then stopped suddenly before he disappeared. Not only that, because think about it, this juvenile witnessed this or heard it, but I guess Crystal, which is the aunt that had custody of Jackson, she didn't hear anything, I guess. It says here Jackson's aunt Crystal stated she had woke up during the night and noticed that both Johnson and Cedric were missing. She then called Johnson and confronted him about why he wasn't at the residence. It is believed that Johnson caused serious bodily harm injury to Jackson by compressing his airways and failed to seek medical attention. Trust me, if you really wanted to save this child, instead of performing 45 minutes of CPR, which is complete BS, and your swaddling thing, that's BS, no allegedly, you're an idiot, you could have called the cops. Not only that, he did this in a house full of people. The child noticed something. This woman didn't notice nothing.
His arrest now added to a long criminal history, which includes a count of abandoning, endangering a child.
So it's reported that he has like some sort of long criminal history. Let me give you a little context as to the character of this male that has 4 kids, and Jackson wasn't even his own child. Dallas police said in 2010, after arresting Johnson for prostitution, his daughter, who was 4 months old at the time, was found left at home in the apartment. Police said Johnson told them that he had left her on the bed while he went to go get cigars. He goes to get a prostitute and leaves his daughter home alone, 4-month-old. Just to fill you in, this is somebody that has 4 kids. This is somebody that CPS or D, whatever the hell you want to call it, they decided, yes, this is a good place to send Cedric Jackson. This is a perfectly great home. Let's send him here.
CPS has removed 6 children between the ages of 6 and 10 from the apartment. 4 are Johnson's, 2 are his girlfriend's.
And I just want to make it clear, too, that I'm not advocating for CPS, DCF, DCFS, DSS, blah, 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 to just remove kids and put them in foster care and that's it. I've just heard of a lot of stories. I just got off the phone with somebody now that's had to fight, like, to get custody of a child where the daughter had the child removed, like tooth and nail. And it's just kind of crazy that I heard some of the stories where some parents, they can't get the kids, or like family members, grandparents, you know, like things like that, they can't get custody of the kids. They have clean record, no problems, but then they put them in homes like this with Cedric Johnson and his aunt or whatever with 6 kids in the home. It's just like, so that I guess there must have been a total of 7 kids in that home, and somehow they find this feasible. But when then a legitimate person is taking the parenting classes, doing everything they can, They get the hardest time ever. They get ignored. It's just ridiculous. Final thing, I just want to talk about the channel really quick. I just want to share something with you guys. Just so you guys know that most of my videos are limited / demonetized. I mean, you can look here, the last 50 videos. Limited, demonetized. There's one there with the Armani. Limited. Then there's one there with Malia Davis. Just 1, 2, 3. Limited, 4. Limited, all limited, all 5, 6, 7, and that's unrelated. That's a different topic. So out of 50 videos, 7. Okay, so but for the people that you get a lot of criticism, oh, I'm not bankrolling, I have a full-time job, you know what I'm saying, I do this because I really care about it. I'd like to make this a full-time thing. It's really hard with YouTube because anytime you talk about these sensitive topics, they just limit it and demonetize it. And I get it because they don't want to put advertisers behind it. It's happening to big YouTubers. And what happens with limits, it's not just about like revenue. It's also about the fact that YouTube doesn't suggest your video as much. You can still pull a lot of views if you're lucky, but YouTube is not, like when you watch somebody's video and the whole thing where the suggestion comes up or you see it at the bottom thing, suggested videos, a lot of times, and I've checked recently my analytics, they cut back on that. So I'm just asking you guys if you can make sure, you know, hit like on the video, leave a comment if you can, share it, make sure if you're subscribed, hit the notification with the bells. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, because I know there's a lot of people that just watch and don't really subscribe. Subscribe, it really helps. Maybe in the future I can get a sponsor and I can figure out a way to make this a viable thing. Until then, it's really hard for me to squeeze in news stories, topics. I got like 3 emails that I need to respond to. Somebody that wants to talk to me about CPS. Really hard to take time out of my day at the end of the day, especially when I have my daughter and things like that. So I really appreciate you guys, love you guys, and just let me know your thoughts, comment down below, and have a good night. Peace.